All right, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We are in full production, which means limited time for internet videos, but unboxing. So let's get started with the SmallHD Indie 7. Okay, so SmallHD Indie 7. We love SmallHD monitors. I'll explain why in a little bit, but you order it, you get it in the mail. It's not everything you need to get it rocking and rolling on your camera. So you're gonna need something to power it with. This works on batteries. We're gonna detap it to our V-mount batteries, and for that, you need a 5.5 millimeter male. This is the locking power cable. You're also gonna need something to attach it to your camera, so we've just got your standard SDI cables. You're gonna need something to mount it with. We have these SmallRig dual ball head ones. I like these. They have the little butterfly locking thing, and these little holes, they can actually put an Allen key and crank it onto your camera. So if you're running and gunning like we do, it doesn't come loose. And the troublemaker from yesterday, you actually need an SD card that is less than 16 gigabytes. If you work in 4K, I don't know why you'd have a 16 gigabyte card hanging around. And it has to be formatted into an MS-DOS and Mac compatible file. So it's with this, and that is the MS-DOS FAT version. Okay, so once you have all these little pieces, oh, why do you need this? It's because you have to put the latest firmware update, and if you want to import LUTs, which you're going to want to. Okay, so that said, let's unbox. It comes in a box. Never quite get these unboxing videos, and clearly it comes in a box. SmallHD, open it up. Oh, there we go. Cool. So there it is. Okay, so this is the Indie 7 on-camera touchscreen. This is actually the second version of this monitor we have. The one that Jack's filming on is the first. And these are great monitors. But when you're buying something new, if you're watching these videos, you're probably in the realm of where we are. They're not cheap. They're not probably used on Marvel movies. And so you get one, you just want it to work outside of the box. So when it doesn't work, the learning curve can be really frustrating and really scary. Oh my God, did I fucking buy something that isn't gonna work for my purposes? Trust me, it does. It's just gonna take some finessing. So let's build it and program it. Okay, so we're gonna build it with our FX9. This is what we usually use in the field. So, I'm not gonna power this up yet. Okay, first step is mounting it to the camera. So I'm gonna take our little dual head thing and screw that in. I hope both cameras are grabbing this. Probably should have a reference monitor on that guy. And I'm just gonna hand tighten these ones for now. Normally, again, we'd take a little Allen key and crank these. And I'm gonna put that just on one of our mounting points here on our top handle. Again, this isn't exactly how I'd run it, but for the purpose of this video, works for me. Let me just flip this around so we can see what's happening. I'm gonna try to do this backwards. Okay, so we've got our 5.5 mil power cable. That's gonna go right underneath here. And you can use the standard version of these that just slip in, but I have the locking one, which has a little ring to help it not fall out in the field, which is handy. Okay, great success. And again, doing this backwards, we're gonna detap it into our battery there. Great. Good, everything's on everything. Okay, SDI cable, we're gonna go from the in one. Awesome, and we're gonna run that out of SDI 2 over here. Not the audio sync, which I've screwed that up before. All right, cool. So I'm not gonna power the camera on yet, so I'll just power the screen on. Hold on to your butts. Great, it's alive. So first thing it's gonna ask you to do is to do the warranty registration. Pretty easy if you got your cell phone and it's attached to Wi-Fi, you just scan the code. It actually inputs the registration number, everything for you. It's a real quick process, just your email. So we're past that point. So we're gonna actually start with the firmware update. So I'm gonna just click on the firmware. I'm on 5.5.6. So it says firmware can be updated by inserting a compatible SD card with the right software on it. So this is where we ran into trouble yesterday. So I'm gonna see if this one works. There we go. Okay, so the trick here is, and this is what I couldn't figure out yesterday, when you download the stuff from the SmallHD website, you're gonna get a zipped file. It's gonna open into a folder. In that folder, you're gonna have like an information sheet and the firmware. Only drag the little firmware thing into the direct route of the SD card. If you drag the folder, it won't read it. So there it is, problem solved. Anyways, update to 6.1.1, go, start update, don't power it off. Great. Let's give that a second to do its thing, and then we'll keep moving on. Okay, success. Update is completed. So it's gonna want us to restart the monitor, so let's do that. Power it down, hopefully. Power it back up. Okay, it lives. Okay, so let's configure it for this camera. I'm actually gonna fire up this camera. All right, so our input, where am I coming in from? SDI 1. Okay, so now I have that, that's awesome. Good, and I'm gonna change my color pipe. Okay, so I'm gonna add a new color pipe for this camera, plus. And for me, it's gonna be, input type is gonna be log. And the camera, oh, I can't do this sideways. So our camera obviously is Sony. And we are S-Log3. And we're using the S-Gamut scene. And I'll leave everything else the same just for now. Okay, so Sony S-Log, great. And that's what's coming out of the camera. So that's our color space. So I'll move back to here. Okay, so I'm gonna delete the Rec 709 one altogether. Delete. There. Good, okay. So now the only color pipe is gonna be what's coming out of my camera. I don't have to worry about screwing that one up. All right, so let's set up some pages here. So I'm gonna scroll down to get to my first page. So I'm gonna set up 3 pages, and I always just scroll between these 3 when we're on set. First page is what's hitting the sensor. So no tools on it, just what my log image looks like. So I can kind of take an idea of, exactly what I'm putting to camera. The second page I'm gonna set up with the EL Zone system. So the EL Zone system was developed by Ed Lockman, and it's basically a compatible system across cameras and uses the old school photographic Ansel Adams zone system. What I love about that is it works in stops and it's consistent, and neutral gray actually appears in gray. So if you've tried to use zebras, false color, different metering tools, they're all different. You're never quite sure. So the zone system is probably the most accurate system that we've found. Okay, and then I'm gonna add in one more page, and on that page, I'm gonna add in our LUT. So what we've done for these cameras is we've gone to the Sony website and downloaded their technical LUTs. So it's the same one that the camera uses, we can see on this screen. So just give me 1 second, I'm gonna upload those things and I'll show you what all 3 of them look like. Okay, so let's set up our 3 pages. So the first page that I use is just raw, whatever's coming out of camera. I matched the luminance levels on the Sony monitor to this one. So that's your, it's a setting, I'll show you that. So luminance, it's under display, and I brought that down to about 40, okay? And then we're going to, so that's raw, what's coming out of camera. So the second one, we're gonna have our EL Zone system. So that's gonna be down on our exposure assist. Okay, add to this page. All right, and then I gotta change my exposure assist to style, and that is gonna be EL Zone system. Perfect. Great. And show color scale, I like that. Yep. Great. Okay, so the cool thing about the EL Zone system is you see this middle gray. So middle gray is way over here. Okay, 1/3 from black. And when that's exposed correctly, it should be gray. Too dark, right on the money. And the third one, we're gonna make look like this. So we've downloaded the Sony Technical LUTs. So I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna add a new tool, and it's gonna be the color grading one. So that's a look, okay? And I'm gonna add to this page, just this page, not all pages. And I'm gonna go to my file, 3D LUT. Okay, and I'm gonna go for my read-only storage, and we're using the just basic one from Sony right here. Okay, select. Perfect. Okay, so that's that page set up. Let's take a look at that. I can check my LUTed image, looks amazing, and I can also see directly what's going on to camera. Looks also amazing. Okay, so took a couple of tries, but I think our SmallHD Indie 7 touchscreen on-camera monitor is looking great. If you have questions or if you've struggled with these monitors before, leave us a comment, and if not, we'll see you on set.